at this point, I like to think. But let's dive into it. The Chicago Bears made the splash that this fan base has been dying for since my lifetime, if I'm being honest. The last big move we saw like this, I'm not even going to count Trubisky, the Jay Cutler trade. Was the last time we saw the Bears go after like a legit QB.
Hype. Yeah, quarterback hype is what I would describe it as. And I think NFL Network gave him an A+ for the draft.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say since I've been following sports drafts, it's got to be the first time I've got an A+.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's Pace just shocked me with this. He
saved his job, in my opinion. Saved his job, even if they don't make the playoffs next year. He's fine. If they don't make the playoffs, I don't think Nagy's fine. But I think after this offseason so far, I think he saved his job for now.
Yeah, I mean, he redeemed himself for me.
Like
I
that was going to be a question I was going to ask. But go ahead, finish your thoughts.
I honestly think that he killed this draft.
His first 2 picks alone killed this draft.
If he traded away the rest of the picks, those 2 picks alone were what we needed.
I think the biggest thing that I saw with the first 2 picks is it's what the fan base wanted.
Yeah,
Justin Fields can literally be the worst quarterback to come out of this draft. And who do they get for the offensive lineman?
Tevin Jenkins.
Tevin Jenkins. He could be, decent. Bears fans will not care because that's the 2 things that they wanted to see the Bears take.
This is completely different from Trubisky, right? Trubisky was a reach.
Yeah.
Even if they took him and stayed put at 3 and took him, it was considered a reach. This is completely different. The way that the media, the way that the fan base, the way that everyone is covering this move for Justin Fields, it was the right move. Trubisky's decision, that trade was questionable. This was the right move. If it busts, it busts. God knows I'm praying that it doesn't bust.
I don't think so.
But right,
I like if it does. There was talk of other teams. Like I heard Vikings.
Oh yeah, we jumped the Vikings.
We're thinking that if Justin Fields fell to them, they were going to take him.
Yeah.
And they were thinking about moving up before the Bears did that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that no one was talking about moving up to get Trubisky when they took Trubisky.
Right. That was a shock and awe out of nowhere. This was still a shock, but it wasn't like what are they doing? This was how did they pull this off? It was viewed as such an incredible move.
All these stars had to align.
Yeah.
For the Bears.
Their betting odds to get him were plus 1,000.
Oh, I should have bet on it.
$50 would have won you $50,000.
For the 49ers for putting a lot of hype on Mac Jones and then also taking Trey Lance because they honestly could have taken Justin Fields at 3 and just kind of ruined this dream world that we would have thought we would have been living in as Bears fans.
Yeah, because if we took Lance at 11, it would have been that Pace did another Trubisky move.
Yeah, it would have been another one of those. He panicked and went and got a quarterback. This is completely different. Tevin Jenkins, completely different as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, dude, he's a monster.
He's got that crazy kind of calm in him.
For me, it's just one of the things as being a Bears fan of like realizing that we needed help at corner and offensive line, and we got Andy Dalton, who's going to be an improvement, I think, at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's like, okay, we didn't go get a cornerback and didn't really help the defense early in the draft, but it was a big enough plus to where it's like, okay, we didn't screw up this time.
You addressed your quarterback was in my opinion, it was their 4th biggest need. But because of how big of a move they made, and because it's Justin Fields that they got, it's okay for passing up on cornerback or defensive back help to get that quarterback.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
You went and got Tevin Jenkins, who a lot of people pegged to be the Bears pick at 20. And they got him in the 2nd round. Had to trade up for him as well. But I'm all for being aggressive if you're going and getting your guys. Tevin Jenkins, 1st round prospect who fell to the 2nd round, as did a lot of guys this year, especially on the O-line and defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of guys slip because there's just so much quarterback and wide receiver depth. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
That was going to be a huge factor. Think the Raiders also reached on Leatherwood, so that helped Tevin Jenkins fall further back in the draft as well.
Yeah.
The fact, at the end of the day, the Bears picked 11th and they picked 39th, and they drafted 2 guys. One that was considered easily top 5 prospect in the draft.
Dude, he should have gone number 2.
He should have gone number 2.
Yeah,
he should have gone number 3. If not number 2, number 3. No excuse.
Yeah.
But whatever. He fell to 11. The Bears went and made their move. They jumped the Vikings, like Nick was saying. And then Tevin Jenkins falls to them. They trade up at 39 to get him in the 2nd round. He should have been gone before the 30th pick of the draft.
I think, yes, for sure.
So you're happy with everything that
and this is a very big, very, very big draft. I'm very happy with it. Ryan Pace, rightfully so, has been criticized for his drafting in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Now, we can all agree, whether we liked him prior to this or not, he was always good at finding depth in talent past like the 4th round and beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with that scouting team or his eye for talent specifically, but he finds it late in the draft. This was the first time where I can say confidently, outside of the Roquan pick, I almost said Pick Smith, Roquan Smith pick, that he made the right decision and he knocked it out of the park in the first 2 rounds. First round especially.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the whole draft, he killed it.
He killed it.
We got Daz Newsome in the 6th round.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of him. We got Thomas Graham Jr. He opted out of 2020. I think that's why his draft stock fell. But I did watch his highlights. He pretty good corner.
Yeah.
And then we got Tonga, D-line. Watch out for him.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
So I like the Bears picking guys D-line wise because it's like you don't expect anything. Like you got Mack and you got
Hicks
and you got other guys there who are like
Bilal Nichols.
We're not expecting you to play a heavy amount
your rotation,
of downs.
your depth.
But it's like when Khalil Mack's tired, we're going to put you out there and you're going to learn from Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks. And whether you have a good first year or not, you're going to be better off than some defensive linemen who are it's them.
The thing is, these guys have the benefit of being depth guys. They don't have to be immediate impact, and they're going to play on a line where other guys are going to get the attention, and that'll free them up. We see how every year there's a defensive tackle or a D lineman for the Bears that breaks out his first year with the team.
Yeah, you've never heard of him, and all of a sudden it's like, he's having
Nick
one
Williams
of the
was a prime example 2 years ago. Bilal Nichols last year had a really great year.
Yeah, he did.
Not to mention Eddie Goldman's going to be coming back, at least supposedly. I'm pretty sure it's all but confirmed. But he'll be returning. So you have these young guys, these big physical specimens on the D line that pace drafts every year late in the draft, and they get to sit and learn, and they get put in for a couple snaps here and there each game. But because of how many one-on-ones they get, it is like prime development opportunity for them.
Yeah,
you don't have to be the guy on the defensive line.
Yeah,
you can just be the guy who eats blocks, and that's fine. It makes you stronger doing that. All in all, Ryan Pace bought himself, in my opinion, 2 years at least with this draft.
Oh, yeah.
The eyes, I think, are on Nagy more specifically.
Yeah. I feel like Nagy's in a position now where he
has to succeed.
He has a team that could do something.
Right.
To where it's not like, Ryan Pace is kind of like, where it's kind of been equally shares of their fault.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we don't really want to get rid of both of them. Now, Pace has put himself up to where if something goes wrong in the next 2 years, it's Nagy first and then Pace.
Yeah.